And we'll start way back in 1957.
Frank Ryan gives to Jim Brown, turning left end, 30, 25. He gets away to the right side. He gets a block from Hickerson.
Jim Brown, a rookie out of Syracuse, won the MVP as a rookie running back. Now, he actually had one of his statistically worst years in 1957, if you want to call it that. Only 900 yards rushing, a little over that, but they only played 12 games. And then in 1958, he won it again with 1,500 yards rushing. That's in 12 games. They lost in divisional playoffs, but Jim Brown had already established himself as the best player in pro football. Our next back-to-back MVP winner was Joe Montana. And this time, the MVP award did translate into a Super Bowl win and also a Super Bowl MVP for Joe Montana. That season was 1989 when the 49ers beat the Broncos 55-10 in Super Bowl 24, probably the worst blowout of all time.
Looks over the field, goes for the end zone. Jerry Rice, touchdown 49ers!
Then in 1990, Joe Montana came back, led the 49ers to a top seed in the NFC, where they lost in the NFC Championship game to the New York Giants, who eventually went on to win the Super Bowl. The next back-to-back MVP winner actually did it 3 years in a row, which no one has ever done. That would be Brett Favre. Brett Favre won it 95, 96, and was co-MVP in 1997 with a guy you might have heard of named Barry Sanders. What a 3-year run for Brett Favre in the mid-90s.
I'll tell you, Jim, this Brett Favre is something else.
The last back-to-back MVP winner was Peyton Manning, who actually has the distinction of doing it twice. So in 2003, he was coming off of an 0-2 playoff loss where the Colts got beat 41-0 versus the Jets. Peyton Manning came back and was so motivated. Not only that, in 2003, he took them to the AFC Championship game, and then 2004, he outdid himself, breaking the passing touchdowns record.
Protection stays in, he throws to Stokely, touchdown! That's the record breaker!
Peyton Manning would go on to win the MVP again in 2008 and 2009, except he did it differently. This time he was an older player and he was calling the offense at the line. Now the question arises, can someone else win back-to-back MVPs? I think it's very difficult in today's day and age, but I think Cam Newton's got as good a shot as anybody. Cam Newton, of course, won the MVP last year, doing so much by himself. This year, he's going to get Kelvin Benjamin back, his number one target that he didn't have last season in Carolina. That said, one of the biggest reasons I think Cam Newton can come back and win the MVP is A, the loss in the Super Bowl, which should be a motivating factor, but B, Josh Norman being in Washington, the Panthers might be in a few more shootouts than they were accustomed to in 2015, which means Newton's numbers could be even higher than last year. That's a scary thought.